as we see the crews on the start for their heat in the Wyfolds. Maidenhead against Upper Thames Rowing Club. And we're straight into the start. We'll look for the crews here. Upper Thames, the local boys, they'll know exactly how to steer up this island. There's a group of birds in front of them. Hopefully they won't disturb them. Let's see what's going to happen here. Hopefully there's no damage done as the crews go past that little group of birds and we settle into a race. Upper Thames looking to keep straight. Doesn't look like it's disturbed them too much, so we come up here towards the top of the island and see that Upper Thames crew have got into a good pace.
Well, Upper Thames won the Wyfold 2 years ago, back in 2014, and this being their A crew, certainly showing some strength here. They beat the HSBC Rowing Club by 3 3/4 lengths yesterday, so really, really keen to set their position out in this race early, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're up to nearly a length's lead already.
And the local rivals really from Maidenhead Rowing Club just down the river needs to try and keep the pace with them there, really needs to try and look to just get that little bit more length. But to me, I can see Upper Thames are just moving a little bit further per stroke. The stroke in the Maidenhead boat just doesn't quite seem to have the same acceleration through the second half of the stroke. The shoulders aren't quite going back as far. And I think because of that, as we move here down the course, just past the halfway mark, we can see that Upper Thames have moved into a nice lead and they're able to look fairly well in control of this race with this heat in the Wyfold, with Upper Thames out in front, Maidenhead a good 3 or 4 lengths behind.
Well, Upper Thames here, they've dropped their rating down to 30 strokes a minute, so they've really eased into a solid pace there. I think that's quite a comfortable pace they'll be at here. I suppose the key thing now will be to keep their steering straight. It's all something that you can just, from that moment lapse in concentration, steer yourself slightly towards the booms and then your race is over. But they're just looking so calm here. They're only at 30 compared to the opponents up at 34.5. Maidenhead really, really struggling to get back into contention, but that lead is just too vast here. I think, in fact, we're seeing Upper Thames drop their rating again, just really, really slowing it down, making sure they conserve energy. In fact, they have. They've gone down to 28 strokes a minute now.
And there looks like Lawrence Manning in the 2 seat just making the calls. They're just talking to his crew, and in some ways it's easier to manage a 4 than it is an 8, and it's definitely easier to manage when you've got this sort of lead, that they're able to just stay calm and say, look, we're going past our home club. They'll have had the little cheer from Upper Thames as it sits just before Remenham that you can see on the left of the shot. But this is where they've trained, this is what they've worked for, and they want to enjoy a day like today, because as we say, this event, there's 16 crews left today, there'll be 8 left tomorrow. This Upper Thames crew will want to be racing all the way through till Sunday, so preserving energy, having a good row out on the course. They'll be very pleased with the early start to get this race done by 8:45. They'll be in crew catering and eating their breakfast while all their competitors still have the day ahead of them.
Yeah, I mean, the calibre of athlete in this boat is just a slight step ahead compared to the Maidenhead boat. I mean, they finished 5th in the Elite Coxless 4s at Marlow Regatta. They've got a chap called Jake Davison who won the Britannia Challenge Cup back in 2014, so really, really experienced Henley racers, and certainly in the Thames estuary area, they know exactly what they're doing here. They're really familiar with the course. I mean, they've just rode past their own club, for goodness sake, so they really, really understand every single section of the water that they're racing down here. So they're certainly going to be ones to watch as this event for the Wyfold develops.
And I hope the Maidenhead crew will feel okay about their Henley experience. They said it was a short, sharp project. They hadn't trained all year in this combination, and their aim was to qualify. So they qualified yesterday. Not only did they do that, they had a close race with Ardingly, but they made it through. So they'll know they've had a good experience at Henley as we see them now going through that painful part of the race where you're behind, but you've got to make it up the enclosures. But they're sticking to their task very well.
Winner of this will go on to face either Leeds Rowing Club or Thames Rowing Club A. So that's the other heat that's due off later on this morning. I believe that's going off at 9:10. So we'll shortly find out who's going to be facing Upper Thames Rowing Club A in the next round of the Wyfold Challenge, because I certainly can't see this changing in the last few hundred metres.
No, you can just see very efficient, calm paddling here from the Upper Thames crew. Coming down in front of those enclosures. The place where they'll have trained all winter, it'll be quiet, there'll be no stands there, there'll just be a few people out walking the dog when they've been there at 6 o'clock in the morning before going off to work, preparing all through the winter. for what it comes down to in the summer, what it comes down to this weekend. They'll hope to be racing. They'll hope to be putting down a big claim for the Wyfold Challenge Cup.
Impressive nonetheless, though, from Maidenhead Rowing Club here. They gave it their all. They put in a solid race rhythm through the middle course, but just slightly outdone by the calibre of that Upper Thames Rowing Club boat.
So it's confirmed there that win in the Wyfold Challenge Cup for Upper Thames Rowing Club ahead of Maidenhead Rowing Club.